things that are wrong to you.
Welcome to this video of the solar eclipse in Leo, which is happening right now. (1959). Welcome to this video. If I'm sharing my screen properly, I am sharing my screen. I am sharing my screen, and yes, indeed, this is the chart of the solar eclipse that you see. It's now at 20:02 of Leo, which means that in less than 1 hour, the eclipse is going to be exact. In 15 minutes, this is now the eclipse. I am being eclipsed. So welcome to this live video, which I'm doing this live video for the first time. So bear with me. And I had to restart 3 times. So yes, I'm very excited about this. And this is why I have prepared myself. As this is live, I will live share with you all the findings that I have found for this eclipse in Leo, which is right now, today, wherever you are in the world. Make your wish, and it's advised to not look directly at the eclipse with your eyes. Apparently, it's said that it can be a bad omen. So welcome to my channel, infoselfdevelopment.com. I am Tatiana Michelet, and yeah, I'm doing this video today on my channel. You can check my website, infoselfdevelopment.com, via the link below this video. So, right, bear with me. Oh, there's one person, and now they are gone. Well, they will come back. Someone else will come back. Right, so I have a lot of things to share about this video. So I'm taking my time. That's why it's good to be live, because then we don't have to cut and edit everything. And because this is a full moon in Leo, myself, I have the sun in Leo. And to honor this full moon, I am wearing yellow. Yes, I have the sun in Leo myself. My sun is on my IC. And if I'm sharing my screen, I'm sharing my screen. So exciting. Yes, you can see my sun is here at 13:55 of Leo. 1 second. Are we thinking clearly right now? So My sun is at 55 of Leo, right on the IC. Indeed. So, I'm the Leo, like Cancer Leo. A Leo from the house. So yeah, today I'm going live, and yes, time to go live on the opposite side, on my midheaven, where the sun is public, that on a solar eclipse in Leo conjunct my sun. So, in case you wanted to know, I am saying that this is why I am doing this live now. So this is the chart of the new moon. So the new moon is at 20 degrees 2002 of Leo. And this is what I'm talking about today. And also, what's going on with this new moon in Leo? For me, this is based in England because I am in the United Kingdom. Right now, I am French and I am in Norwich. Indeed. And so, the new moon is widely conjunct with Jupiter. The new moon is in Leo, isn't it? Is ruled by the sun. And because it's a new moon, the moon is conjunct with the sun. Now, the thing about this new moon is that this new moon is also conjunct with the south node, which is at 2947 degrees of Leo. The south node is conjunct with a fixed star called Regulus. Okay. There is a stellium, 4 planets plus the south node in Leo. Mercury is also in Leo, conjuncting with Jupiter. Mercury has just done opposing with Pluto. And good news, Mercury is sextiling with Uranus. Okay, so this is good to be creative, being wild, being eccentric with your communication, thinking outside of the box, communicating in a way that you haven't done before. Also important in this chart is, Mars has just ingressed in Cancer. As you can see, Mars is at 0 degrees of Cancer. And as I will talk about also, Venus has been onto a wild ride. Venus is into a roller coaster. Venus has, she has opposite with Neptune just yesterday. She also has already trined with Pluto. Venus also has trined with Uranus a few hours ago. Mercury is coming to sextile with Venus. So Venus is part of a grand air trine. Venus is in Libra. She's trining with Pluto in Aquarius. And then she's trining with Uranus in Gemini. Okay, and then, Venus is going to sextile with Jupiter. And finally, Venus is going to opposite with Saturn. So welcome to this video about this new moon. Today I'm doing this new moon my way because this is the new moon in Leo. And right now it's the new moon. And this is what I like to do. I like to collect information and then I like to share the information. And therefore, without further ado, now that I can see, that's what I'm going to do. So bear with me. So this is the new moon that I am talking about. Right. So let me stop sharing for 1 second. Technically, I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah, so like I said, welcome to my channel. I am Tatiana, in case you've not heard before. And you can check out my services via the links below this video. So yeah, I have been doing recently I've been doing new moon video and full moon video every week or every 2 weeks, but then I have not done it for a while because I was dealing with my own inner world, isn't it? Because that's what happens, isn't it? When we are human, sometimes we feel like dealing with our own inner world, and life goes up and down, life goes down and up, things change, things fluctuate. Yeah, so whoever does astrology video, every day, new video of 2 hours, each day non-stop, then highly likely such individuals, they are using AI, it's artificial. Because if you are an organic human being, then you need to you need to refresh your soul. You need to research the information, in my opinion. So that's what I do. However, now it's no better time to do a new video on this eclipse in Leo. Yeah, life goes up and down, especially when you have a moon in Cancer, such as myself. I have the moon in Cancer and I have the sun in Leo. So with the moon in Cancer, your mood fluctuates like the wave, the tide of the water. So yeah, it is what it is. And also, some of the best astrologers that I have come across, they are not famous. They are not doing astrology so they can get famous. Yeah, they're just passionate about it. So, like me, I answer to God. So I do my own thing. And the astrologer that I follow, that I think are the best astrologer, isn't it? They do their own thing and they answer to God. That's what counts, to do what our heart desire. Yeah, so they are not there like seeking status and public attention. Yeah, because nowadays, more and more, especially with Uranus in Gemini, anyone can go and get a astrologer certificate. As long as you have £2,000, $2,000, €2,000, something like that, and average IQ, isn't it? It's like going to university now. It's not like our grandparents' time, isn't it? Now anyone can just pay and just go there and just get the certificates and say, oh, I know all about this topic. So yeah, now thanks to Uranus in Gemini, the information, not only the information is out there for all of us, but the information is also out there for free. This information is out there for free for anyone that desires to self-educate themselves. Anyone that cares enough to spend hours learning about something, then now you can do it. Because one has to be the light to oneself, not follow anybody. Because in the realm of the spirit, there is no authority, no intermediary between you and that reality, between you and your truth. Indeed. So, right, so I'm going to share my screen again. Yeah, this time I do not have this lovely coloring around the planets. I haven't planned for it because it's my first time in live, and then I have the chart. That's what counts. You can see where is my arrow. This is where the new moon is. And normally, as I speak, there should be a shared screen. Yeah, so this new moon eclipse is all about new beginnings. Well, I'm going to turn this down for now. Yeah, new moon eclipse is all about new beginnings. A solar eclipse is a new moon eclipse, even more emphasized. It's an extra oomph. It means that this is an accentuated new beginning. An eclipse can redirect us. It can put us back on track. It can bring up crisis to a boiling point. Because from a crisis comes a breakthrough. Stop sharing now. A new moon at 20:02 of Leo at the solar eclipse. Yeah, the new moon at 20 degrees of Leo at the solar eclipse has been felt a month before, and now it's going to be felt a month after. More than that, but this is when the energy is the most potent. This is the window of time when the most impacting events happen. A week before and after the eclipse, you probably have seen already now some events play out in your life. Because the week before and the week after the eclipse is the most eventful window of time. And this eclipse is about breaking free from a situation in which we were stuck. We can now get out of a negative situation where it felt hopeless, where we felt our willpower wasn't changing anything. And so we were worried and we felt discouraged. So know that now at this lunar eclipse, there is an option and a resolution. There is a solution to get to a more positive place. suddenly clarity comes. Up. Now you can advance and unstuck yourself. The thing is, at this solar eclipse, you must be quick to grab your luck. Jump on the solution and act quickly. Take the path shown to you by the cosmos with much detail. Chart, because it's not showing. I am showing. All right. So my this nation is that there is a strong, serious, impactful message, a communication, a quick news that will catapult us into determined action, in which we were not seeing a way out. However, whatever this solution is, it's not going to be easy to break free from this situation, which is not working. It's not going to be easy because now there is a solution. Yeah, but the solution is not going to be easy. It still requires some work to be done. And this eclipse is bringing the start, the seed, the first layer of the cake that you are now cooking. So this is good news. At least to make the cake. Do you know what I mean? For you. And now, because of this eclipse, finally feel like we are moving forward. And this is all obviously related to this Leo area of your chart. Leo and the opposite of the axis, Aquarius. Okay, so know that, yeah, this is why we are just planting the beginning seed, because this is just the beginning of a long series of eclipses in this Leo Aquarius axis, this is going to take about 1.5 years of eclipses in Leo and in Aquarius for us to get to the final destination, to finally eat the cake with some cream and some strawberries on top. This will come after 1.5 years. Therefore, what matters most for today is that we are finally getting to the airport. At least we have left our home. At least we have finally left our old home. We have finally left a situation or a relationship or a way of life behind. We have finally left a traumatized part of ourselves behind. We are moving away from a situation that worked against our best interest. We are moving away from something that we were doing out of a habit, something that we were doing out of ego or out of trauma from the past. Whatever the light at the end of the tunnel comes your way. You know, whenever you start seeing the light shining at the end, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, like this expression said, you know, follow it. Because this is what can get you unstuck right now. So, yeah, first of all, because now it's been a while I've been talking, but to carry on, I will add for you the main aspect are linked to to this week, to the next 2 weeks, and to this solar eclipse. Because I have said some aspect at the beginning. Is working because it's a solar eclipse. Personally, I'm having some technological weird things happening. So first of all, on the 9th of August, already a few days ago, you see Mercury is now at 5 degrees of Leo. Mercury ingressed 9th of August. Then on the 11th of August, that was yesterday, Mars ingressed into Cancer. So this is a strong new start because 0 degrees of the cardinal signs, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and especially Aries. You know, these they are called the world point. You know, these are important degrees, 0 degrees of the cardinal signs, because they start the new seasons, isn't it? When the sun, planet of action, which is Mars, on one of these important actions. So this has a lot of power, which I will explain after. So Mars ingressed into Cancer. There is also, like I said, Venus, there is on the air trine. Venus is in Libra. She's trining Aquarius, Pluto. She's trining Uranus, Gemini. So there is a grand air trine, which is good for communication, learning, the mind, the intellect, relationship, socializing. You know, see, this is flowing easily. This is easy now. There's a lot of opportunities. Yeah, but that I will explain after, because at the end of all this, you know, make the best of it right now, because afterwards, Venus will end this nice roller coaster ride by opposing Saturn, which is more somber kind of vibration, kind of serious reality check. Okay. And of course, we have solar eclipse, Leo new moon happening, and Mars is sextile Chiron in Taurus as well. So this action that we are of our chart, because now when Mars was in Gemini, we were putting our energy and our focus and our determination into our ideas. And now the action has changed, the focus has changed, because where Mars goes is where we put our energy into. So now you are putting your energy into the Cancer area of your chart. And at the moment, because it's sextiling with Chiron in Taurus, so there is a short window of time, because it's a sextile, so it doesn't have much impact. It doesn't last too long. But because Mars is a slower moving planet, it still lasts quite a while, this sextile. So already, you know, on the 14th, we can say the effect is over. This effect is over now. There is an opportunity to smooth over your want, you know, to do with either your self-esteem or your finances. By the end of the day, your finances are linked with your self-esteem. You know, so now there's an action that you can take in the Cancer. You know, they can smooth over the wound, you know, the pain you have, that you feel that you cannot solve. to do with your self-worth and your possession, maybe, and stability in your life. And then on the 15th of August, which I'm going to speak about, of course, most importantly, because this is the happiest aspect of this month. I mean, the second happiest, because there's also going to be Venus that will sextile with Jupiter in Leo. And this is going to be on the 17th of August that Venus will sextile with Jupiter in Leo. And this is the most happiest aspect of the month. But again, it's a sextile, so it doesn't have that much power, but it's still going to be a nice day. Yeah, so now this conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter is in effect right now, and it's increasing in power until it becomes exact. And that is going to be on the 15th of August. So if you are especially a Gemini or a Sagittarius, if you are a Virgo or a Pisces, all the 4 mutable signs, then this is good for your, your relationships. Therefore, this can be a good time for your relationships, because the ruler of your first house and your 7th house, they are meeting together. Okay, and if you're a Leo or in Aquarius, then this conjunction is good for your finances. And then if you are a Scorpio or a Taurus, same thing, this conjunction is good for your finances. So look forward to it, and it's a good time to ask for a favor, in your finances. If it's about your relationship, if you want to ask someone out for a date, what I mean, make the best of the opportunity, because with the astrology, the energy is out there in the cosmos, but we also have some free will. And obviously, let's say if you look for a relationship and then you have a good aspect in the sky for your relationship, you will miss on your luck. Let's say if you don't leave your house, if you don't try to text or call someone to go out with you. So you still have to be proactive. Especially now, because it's a Leo stellium time. It's time to take leadership of your life, to, be the actress, the actor, the main player of your life. Don't sit in the background. And also on the 16th of August, I am looking forward to this day, because according to Babylonian astrology, on the 16th of August, this is when our friend Jupiter is becoming more visible. So our luck, our optimism, our opportunities will return, and the houses of your chart, ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and the location of Jupiter in your chart, all this is going to be lifted up. So yeah, I'm going to talk about this as well afterwards. For any of you interested to listen further, then thank you to bear with me. Also, less exciting, this is why it's good to be aware of it, because on the 16th of August, Mars is going to square with Neptune. Mars is at 0 degrees of Cancer. Neptune is at 4 degrees of Aries. And this is not a great aspect to look forward to. So I will hold back, if I were you, I know I am, from taking action, from rushing into something and make a decision too fast. Because highly likely we are not seeing clearly what we are doing, where we are going. Until after the 17th of August, then this is a better time because, like I said, Jupiter will be visible, and then the square of Mars and Neptune will be waning, will be separating. So it will be less impactful. And then, of course, like I said before, on the 21st of August, Venus will exactly oppose with Saturn. If you care to see it, it's going to be at 14 degrees, 14, 14, Venus opposite Saturn, 21st of August, which I will explain more before. So yeah, it's a chilling feeling to do with our relationship, and cold blanket on our fire of joy. On the 23rd of August, the Sun in Leo will have moved forward down to 29 degrees, and the Sun will be conjunct with the South Node in Leo. And of course, soon after, the Sun will enter Virgo, and we will whatever, if you're back to business, the party is over, kind of thing. 23rd of August. If you're a Virgo, it'll be your birthday. Yeah, so in terms of the transit, then I think I said it before, but I'm going to redo it. Because I said Venus is onto a roller coaster. Venus is onto a spin in August. Because Venus has already trine with Pluto few hours after. Yeah, what did I say? Venus has trine with Pluto. Venus has, few hours after, Venus has opposite with Neptune in Aries. And then today, Venus is trine with Uranus. It's good for falling in love, which is good for getting lucky, which is good for financial windfall, which is good to get a free gift. Doesn't have to be money. It's good for get a free gift, get a free, a good time socializing, some out of the box socializing with someone that's unusual, feeling free, enjoying doing what you love to do. On the 17th of August, I think I said it before, this is the best time of the month because Venus is going to be sextile with Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter are the most benefic planets of our sky in astrology. So what can be better when they are uniting via an harmonizing aspect, such as the sextile. And also, it's lovely because when this will happen, this sextile, the moon, as you can see, will also be in Libra. And the moon in Libra is descent. It does quite well. And then the moon, we can say, it will be conjunct with Venus. And after, still good because, the moon will be at full in Scorpio. However, the moon with Cancer, with Mars in Cancer. Okay, so what I'm saying basically is that the 17th of August is a good day. It's a good time for our love, for our relationships, for our socializing, for feeling good about ourselves. Right, so see where Libra is in your chart. What houses Venus holds in your chart, and where Venus is here in Libra. Yeah, and where in your chart you have Venus, this way you get a hint of how this aspect is going to play out for you. Okay. Amazing. So, a second. See what I'm doing here. Right. Yeah, going to open this curtain. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't want to get the light from the eclipse too much, because some people say, but now it's getting darker here. It's 7 p.m. I'm still live for minutes. Right, there is still some things to say, because on the 40th and 15th of August, like I said, Mercury asking, this question is, who are you? Who am I? And to express this in a creative performance. Leo is about being the maestro of your favorite project. It's about being the star, the actor of the movie of your life. Come from the heart with the intent to have fun and not to simply wanting to assert, to not simply wanting to assert yourself as better over, or as superior to other. This is the shadow of Leo. Because we all know the challenging side of Leo. It's all about me, myself, and I. Narcissism. Too much pride when we are not taking care of others at all. And Leo is a fixed fire sign. Leo is like the that endures, that builds identity over time. At best, Leo holds something enduring with strength, clarity, quiet inner confidence, and with the heart. You are taking the lead to bring joy to others, being proud, to be courageous for a cause that isn't only our ego or a thirst for power. That the shadow of Leo can be, to want to obtain power by stamping onto others. Leo can be proud, to have obtained powers when it is by noble means, rather than by making others feel equal. So, yeah, to want to make yourself feel strong by destroying weaker and less able souls. So therefore, too much ego leads to one's own downfall. It's exact now. See, it's only few seconds away, few minutes away. Few minutes away. So this minute was. I hope that you have made your wish for this new moon eclipse. I know I have made my wish. This was a lot of fun. Right, so yeah, if you're Leo, obviously this new moon is in your first house. So for you, it's all you beginning to do with your identity and your sense of self, how you project yourself out there into the world. The first house is the most important house. It's the house that holds the most power, because it's your own being. It's the lens for your life. Now this is all being reset. Yeah, so it's the new in Leo, so you're supposed to have fun. Leo, this is in your first house. If you are a new moon is in your second house, yourself about your finances, about your income, about your earnings. So it's a new moon eclipse, so it can be a new source of income for you. Cancer. If you're a Gemini, this is happening in your third house. So this third house for you, Gemini, has to do with maybe your siblings, your neighbors. Maybe you're going to learn something new. You know, it's about your neighborhood. Is your neighborhood changing as well? So, you know, that's what it is. Third house is also about signing contract. For you, Gemini, is highly likely, you know, that it has to do with a contract. Is it a work contract? Is it a home contract? Because welcome to Gemini. Yeah, because it's in your third house, Gemini, and your fourth house is in Virgo. She's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Leo now with Jupiter. And I just said that Mercury and Jupiter conjunction is to do with contract. So I don't know about you, Gemini. And like I said, this is the beginning of something that is going to manifest over the next 1.5 years. So I know for myself, because I'm an ascendant in Gemini, and now I realize actually this is what it is, because I am dealing with this kind of topics myself. Something to do with home relocation, moving, that is taking some time because of a lot of factors that come into this equation. You know, so it doesn't, this relocation, this move, Gemini, doesn't feel so straightforward as you wish it was. But now you are starting to have a plan forming. Amazing, Gemini. So now I started. Now I feel I have to finish so yeah, Leo, and then there was Cancer. You know that with my software I can do some kind of things like this. 1 second. Can do each side How did I do it before? So I have to go all side. Then you can rotate. You see, you can rotate. Isn't that a lot of fun? So if you are an Aquarius, this is happening in your 7th house of relationship, of all kind of partnerships. Is it going to be a new relationship for you, Aquarius? It could be the beginning of the beginning, and it can also sometimes we say this is the beginning of the end. So, if something, because if you watch the next parts of my video, then I will talk about it in more details. But, it can also be sometimes the beginning of the end, and this is taking more time. It can just be the unfolding of something new in your 7th house. 7th house is business partnerships as well. And because this is your 1st house, 7th house axis, it's also to do with your relationship that you have with yourself. And this applies to both Aquarius and Leo, because we also have a relationship with ourselves. Because in our relationship, what we do is we project ourselves. It's projections. That's why the opposition aspect is all to do with projections. Yeah, so just quickly go around, because that's why I was about to end the video, because I said that it was getting long, and now I started onto a 12-side thing, so I have to finish it. So we have some equality for every side. So we have some equality and some fairness somewhere today, right now in our life. If you are in Capricorn, dear Capricorn, this is intense for you, because this is in your 8th house of intensity, of deep entanglement, deep involvement with other people, of your intimate life, of loans. It can have to do with banks. It can be financial. The 8th house can be financial topics, finances that you share with others, another person, or institutions like banks. Yeah. What do you want? The 8th house, you can also be some deep shadow work. Also, Capricorn, the 8th house. Yeah, the 8th house is to do with occult topics. With your shadow self, with transformation, deep transformation. So this is being illuminated, because when you think about it, the 8th house is related to Scorpio. It's more to do with the darkness. And now this is a new moon eclipse in your 8th house. But in Leo, with a stellium in Leo and the sun there, all of this magnifying. So whatever it is, this shadow part of yourself now is just being, the light is shining on it, and now you are seeing it, and now you are going to hopefully deal with it. And also with the 8th house, often you have to deal with it, because these are circumstances behind your control. The 8th house is an unexpected events. Plus, you put an eclipse in the 8th house, is double energy of unexpected event. So good luck if you're Capricorn, because this is very deeply intense for you. So now I've done this Aquarius. If you are a Pisces, this is in your 8th house. So I'm advancing now because I need to refresh. Yeah, this is if you are in your 6th house. 6th house. So this has to do with, yes, we say health and daily routine, but in fact the 6th house is to do with how you manage your day-to-day life. This is why we say it's health and work, your 6th house. So something new there is starting for you in the 6th house. Maybe a new way of how you go about your daily life, because it's why your daily routine can feel like work, because it's things that we have to do every day in the 6th house. And that's why if our daily routine is messy, it can impact our health. And that's why often we say, the 6th house is your health, is also your health issues that can come up with the 6th house and 12th house axis. Can be physical health, can be mental health. So yeah, with your 6th house is in Leo for you, you have to, be the leader of your 6th house, be the CEO of your 6th house, of how you lead your daily routine, so that you feel happy about it. So yeah, it's also 6th house is also your daily environment, what you do, automatically every day. So yeah, it's a new beginning. So you can find a new solution if you were having if you were disorganized, there was some chaos in your daily life. If you have if it has to do with health, then maybe this is a good time to start something new, to do a reboot. That's why it sounds like more joy in your daily life. And now this is Taurus. If it's in your 4th, this has to do with your home, your family, or your real estate. This is what this new moon solar eclipse is happening for your Taurus. My brain is fried. Yeah, so yeah, this has to do with your 4th house. So the 4th house has to do with also, and to do with your ancestors, your private inner world. This is where the focus is now for you, if you're a Taurus. And these axis works. This axis, all of the axis works in pair. So whatever happened in your 4th house is linked to your 10th house also, of the path you walk in life, your public status, how people see you, your reputation, your career, and your home life. And there's a new beginning there. Because whatever happens in the 4th house of your home, always affect your public life, because this is also your status. So for example, isn't it, if you were to become a mom, which is a fourth house topic, suddenly you were to have a child in your house, then that can impact your career, for example. Or if you were to change your home, then maybe you have to change your job. Let's say if you relocate, maybe you work from home. So these pair of axes works together. Yeah, so I think I went around everything. So let me check. What is it? Yeah, I think I've said Gemini before at the beginning. I did. So bear with me. Whoever is bearing with me, I'm glad you're there. If not, I like to finish, so I'm finishing, because I said I was doing something, so I have to do it now. Yeah, I have done Leo as well. Oh, and Virgo. Our friend Virgos. For you, Virgo, this is in your 12th house. 12th house of the subconscious mind, of going on retreat, of working behind the scenes. Of the 12th house. With the new moon there in the 12th house, something is coming to your attention now, and you can't. Now you see it, maybe some self-sabotaging behavior of yourself, how you self-sabotage, and this can now have come to your awareness. So this has to do with something that you do behind the scenes. That's where the focus is on for you now. The light is shining on what you're doing behind the scenes. Yeah, in Leo it can be, some secret romance or long distance romance. Something linked to these topics. Leo, like it can also do with the 12th house. Sometimes it's to do with some kind of addiction. Addiction can be many things. It doesn't have to be a actual substance. Sometimes an addiction is just a way of being. So this is where the focus is now for you, Virgo. It's on your health, because the North Node is in your 6th house in Aquarius. So I think, if you're a Scorpio, this is in your 10th house. The 10th house, it's to do with your job. Maybe you've got a new job. Maybe your status is changing. Maybe you were single. Now you are into a relationship, or vice versa. So a lot of attention is a lot of spotlight. You can be on the spotlight. Now all this on top of your chart in your 10th house of the public eye. So it can be a new beginning there for you if you want to shine. Scorpios. However, at the same time that you have all this attention and all this activity in your public life, Yeah, you are being called to take care of your private world because Pluto is there and the North Node is there. So, you're going through a lot of deep inner self transformation, Scorpio, which there is no one else better than you. There's no one better, there's no sign better than you, Scorpio, to deal with this Pluto in your fourth house. Especially if your IC is there near Pluto. Yeah, it's very intense indeed. So it feels like publicly you're shining this big light and you have all this attention, all this spotlight. However, underneath it all, in your private world, there's a different kind of energy there. So, yes, my friends, this is it. Let me click on 12. Sagittarius, if you're Sagittarius, this is good energy. This is lucky energy because this is a blessing for you because Jupiter is doing extremely well in the 9th house. The 9th house is a lucky house. Jupiter is a lucky planet. And the Sun is lucky to have also in the 9th house. So, what luck would you like to have? Because also you are a Sagittarius, so you're already lucky. Lucky you. Yeah, Jupiter is your ruler and is trining you from the 9th house. The Sun is there as well. Yeah, so this is I'm talking about this eclipse. This is a new beginning. The 9th house is maybe a new vision for your life. If not, it can be to do with, are you going to travel far away? And this is going to expand your mind, expand the vision that you have for your life. Is there a relationship that is long distance that is starting? Or simply, at the least, maybe you are just going to start some new study. Are you going to publish a book? Now, Saturn is in your 5th house of your creativity, though. So yeah, but you have the North Node in your 3rd house. So if you were planning to publish a book, you have to put some hard work into it, but you have the energy for it. Publish anything for that matter, because now publishing is like, you can just put something on social media and it's called publishing, is it? But when you have Saturn in your 5th house, whatever you create will last the test of time, will probably outlive you. It will be your long-term legacy. However, it takes a long time to complete, and it takes a long time to show some results. But with Saturn, what is good is that whatever work you put into something, you will get some results. The question with Saturn is when. How long is going to take? But yeah, with Saturn is very 3D reality. You do this, you will get this. So keep doing it. Yeah, so it's good for you in your 9th house. You're expanding your mind. This is also to do with your belief system. So, and all this topic, there's a new beginning for you. There is a shift and a mind expansion. Yeah, and that can have to do with a relationship. Yeah, maybe you are just, yeah, maybe you are a teacher, maybe you are gone in foreign places, for could be for business. Yeah, so it's to do with foreign affairs. I have done the turn of the wheel. I have not have done it. I think I just haven't pressed this. No, I have done, I'm sure this. I've done Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Oh, Aries. If you are an Aries, this is in your fifth house. The fifth house. If you have children, then something is going on with your child. Is your child, something new and happy there? A new happy life-changing event with your child. Is your child graduating? Is your child becoming a parent? Well, it can do with your child. It can also have to do if you don't have children. Or if your children have left your nest, then this can be with your own creative project. If you have your own business, then this can be to do with your own business. And of course, that has to do with your dating life, your romantic life. And at any time of your life, it's never too late to fall in love again, especially with this stellium of planet in your Leo 5 house. If you were single, highly likely, that you can meet someone new. Highly recommended, put some dating apps on your phone. Put yourself out there. If you're looking for love, Aries. We have done Taurus, we have done... if you are a Libra, lucky you. You must be feeling beautiful now. You must be feeling blessed. You must be feeling loved, because who better than a Libra wants to have Venus in Libra in her first house. Yeah, and all these eclipses in your 11th house. So Venus has to do with socializing. Venus is your ruler. She's at home in her first house of Libra. She's happy there. Plus, with this sextile to your 11th house of networking, of socializing, with this big fired up party there. So if you are Libra, at least you are invited to a party, isn't it? Something is going on with your friend. It can be maybe you're getting an award, you are getting some recognition. It can be, gain from your own business. You're getting a pay rise. Yeah, on a basic level, this has to do with your friendships, networkings, your long-term goals and wishes. This can be also about you, having new goals for the future, Libra. Yeah, your romantic life, your social life is definitely into a good shape. It's definitely lighting up for you, Libras. And also, you feel good about yourself now with Venus in Libra. And when we feel good about ourselves, we attract other people. So yeah, I'm happy for you, Libra. I hope you're having a good time. On this happy note, I have done every sign of the zodiac. Scorpio. Right, thank you so much. If anyone was watching, I am going to stop sharing, and this video is now going to come to a close. And thank you for having watched my video. I will do the second part, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. And I wish you all the best, and I wish you to have a good time. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out my services via the link below this video. And take care. Bye for now. I'm happy whoever you were today you have been there for my live stream, my first live stream. Thank you so much. And bye for now. Funny how those years go by, changing you, changing me.